Hello and welcome back to Horoscope TV. I am so thrilled to be back in the studio with you.
It's great to be here.
If you're tuning in right now, you're not just looking for, a vague prediction or some fortune cookie slogan.
No, not at all.
You want the map. You want to know the terrain before you start the hike. And today we are zooming in on a very specific, very fiery slice of the zodiac. We are looking at the week of February 2nd to February 8th, 2026. And this entire analysis is for the archers. That's right, if you have a Sagittarius sun, moon, or rising, this is your dedicated briefing.
It is. And honestly, looking at the astrological data for this specific week, briefing might be too mild a word.
Oh, really?
It looks more like a survival guide for an electric storm. If you're a Sagittarius, the charts are screaming one thing. The quiet season is officially over.
I got that exact same feeling when I was reviewing the planetary alignments. It's like we're coming out of January, which felt a bit like, I don't know, wading through molasses.
Right. Very slow, very heavy.
And suddenly, looking at this first week of February, the energy just spikes. It feels like we're trading boredom for chaos. But, in a good way. Interesting chaos.
Interesting chaos is the perfect way to describe it. And that's really the mission of this analysis, to help you navigate a massive pivot. We are seeing a huge shift in the energetic landscape.
So what's the big headline?
The headline, the marquee event that's coloring everything else in the chart, is the waking up of Uranus.
That sounds incredibly dramatic, the waking up of Uranus. I definitely want to get into the mechanics of that. It sounds like a movie title.
It feels like one.
But looking at the overview, it's not just about things getting faster, is it? There seems to be a real narrative arc to the week. We start with this high velocity, then we hit some turbulence, and by the weekend, we sort of retreat.
Precisely. It's a week of acceleration, adaptation, and then a sudden inward turn. So we're going to break down how this specific planetary weather impacts your career, your bank balance, your relationships, and of course, your physical body.
And we've got the lucky numbers and compatibility checks, the works.
Of course. But you're right, we have to start with the main event. Let's get into the general forecast.
Okay, let's do it. Uranus goes direct. It happens on February 4th. For those listening who might not be professional astrologers, we hear about planets going retrograde all the time.
All the time.
Usually it's Mercury causing our computers to crash. But what does it actually mean when a planet like Uranus stations direct? And why is it such a huge deal for Sagittarius this week?
Okay, so mechanically, when we say a planet is retrograde, from our perspective here on Earth, it looks like it's moving backward.
Right.
Energetically, in astrology, this means the planet's influence is internalized, it's bottled up, dormant. Uranus is the planet of sudden change, rebellion, electricity, the future. And it has been retrograde for months.
Okay.
Imagine shaking up a bottle of champagne, but, keeping the cork on. The pressure just builds and builds, but nothing actually moves.
And February 4th is the day the cork pops.
February 4th is the explosion. The planet stops its backward motion, that's the station, and then it starts moving forward again, and it releases all that pent-up energy in a massive rush.
Wow. And for Sagittarius, where is this happening?
For Sagittarius, this is all going down in their 6th house. This is the sector of the chart that governs your work, your daily routine, your health habits, all the mundane details of life.
That's fascinating because usually we think of the mundane as, well, boring.
Exactly.
We think of routine as the thing that stays the same. But you're saying the planet of disruption is waking up in the house of routine. That sounds like a complete contradiction.
It is a massive contradiction. And that's where all the friction and all the excitement comes from. If you're a Sagittarius listener and you've been feeling stagnant, or if your daily grind has felt just as repetitive and soul-crushing, that ends on Wednesday. Uranus does not tolerate boredom. When it wakes up in your 6th house, it demands that you modernize your life, like immediately.
So we're not talking about a subtle shift where you just, decide to take a new route to work. No, not at all.
We're talking about external forces coming in and shaking the whole etch-a-sketch.
Exactly. We are talking about the alarm clock breaking, the boss changing your entire job description at 9:00 a.m., or a sudden lightning bolt realization that you absolutely cannot eat the same lunch you've eaten for the last 3 years.
Okay. I can see that. It manifests as these really sudden changes in daily schedules, abrupt shifts in lifestyle.
Right.
And I imagine for some signs, like, say, a Taurus or Capricorn, that sounds like an absolute nightmare. They want the plan to stick.
Oh, their worst nightmare.
But for a Sagittarius?
Well, Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign. Mutable means adaptable. Fire means action-oriented. In so many ways, you, the archer, are built for this specific week. While other signs might just crack under the pressure of a changing schedule, Sagittarius has this amazing capacity to look at the chaos and see an adventure.
So the advice isn't try to hold on to the old schedule.
Oh, no.
It's more like don't resist the speed. Correct. The energy supports novelty.
Yeah.
If you try to force your Tuesday routine to look exactly like your Monday routine, you're gonna break. You have to ride the wave.
But, okay, we have to layer in the other major player this week because it's not just Uranus. Uranus is setting the tempo, but it feels like Mercury is telling the story.
That's a great way to put it.
And Mercury seems to be having a bit of a mood swing. We start with a real high on February 3rd, don't we?
We do. On Tuesday, February 3rd, Mercury forms a trine to Chiron. Now, a trine is a harmonious angle. It's a beautiful flow of energy. And Chiron, as many of you know, is the wounded healer of the zodiac.
Right. It represents our deepest vulnerabilities.
Exactly. So when the planet of communication flows effortlessly with the planet of healing, we get a very, very specific and powerful opportunity.
It sounds like the perfect setup for, I don't know, a therapy session, or finally having that conversation you've been dreading because you were so afraid it would go wrong.
That is exactly it. It's a moment for healing through words. It grants you the ability to speak your truth, but, and this is so key, to do it without aggression. You can articulate your pain or your needs so clearly, and the person on the other end is actually likely to understand.
If you need to clear the air, Tuesday is the day.
Tuesday is absolutely the day. Because by Thursday, that energy just curdles.
Okay, let's talk about Thursday, February 5th. This is the Mercury-Uranus square. We just said Uranus is waking up and it's acting all chaotic. Now Mercury is squaring up to it. In the notes, this is flagged as a major danger zone.
It is. A square is a 90-degree angle. It represents tension, conflict, a clash. Now, Mercury governs travel, communication, siblings. Uranus governs accidents, sudden stops, technology. When they crash into each other on Thursday, it just creates static.
So Tuesday was eloquent healing, and Thursday is arguments and flight delays.
Unfortunately, yes. It's a classic aspect for foot and mouth disease. You might just snap at a sibling or a neighbor, those immediate connections that Mercury rules. But more practically, travel mishaps are highly, highly highlighted.
I see the note here, drive carefully.
And it's not just a platitude. With Uranus active in this way, people are driving erratically. Traffic lights might malfunction. Your GPS could send you into a lake.
Oh, wow.
The advice is to really slow down, leave early, and double-check your tires. The mental energy is just so frantic, and you're so prone to distraction.
But then, just when we think we're going to burn out from all this electricity, Friday hits. February 6th, Mercury enters Pisces. And that feels like walking out of a loud construction site and straight into a quiet spa.
That is a beautiful, perfect analogy. Mercury leaves Aquarius, which is all mental, airy, detached, and it submerges into Pisces, which is a water sign. It is a total, complete vibe shift. The focus moves instantly from all that external noise to your internal sanctuary.
So for the Sagittarius listener, this means the weekend isn't about going out and partying. It's about home.
It's about home, it's about family, it's about nostalgia. The urge to go out just evaporates. You want to feel safe. You want to feel, period. It's like the universe is giving you a built-in recovery period after the Uranus shock of the midweek.
Okay, let's drill down into the specifics now. We've set the stage, but I want to talk about the 9 to 5. Section 2, work and career. With Uranus in that 6th house of routine, the office has to be ground zero for all this chaos.
It absolutely is. The atmosphere is best described as chaotic but exciting. If you go into work this week expecting a standard checklist, you will be so disappointed. But if you go in expecting to improvise, you'll thrive.
What kind of scenarios are we looking at here? I know Uranus rules technology. Is it like the server crashing?
It could be, but it's more proactive than that. A classic manifestation is the implementation of a new computer system. You know, Monday morning, IT rolls out some new software that nobody knows how to use.
That's the worst.
Or maybe a new coworker arrives who completely changes the team dynamic. Someone erratic or a genius, or probably both. Or you just get a completely unexpected assignment. Something totally outside your job description that lands on your desk and it's due tomorrow.
And this is where that Sagittarius superpower really kicks in.
Exactly. While the earth signs are panicking about the lack of procedure and the manual not being ready,
Right, they're freaking out.
the Sagittarius adapts. You are built for this unpredictability. You can pivot. The key to career success this week is to be the one who stands up and says, okay, the plan is dead, what's the new plan? Rather than being the one complaining that the old plan died.
I love that. Be the solution. However, we have to circle back to that February 5th warning in the context of work. That Mercury-Uranus square sounds like a nightmare for office communication.
It is critical. Communication breakdowns are almost guaranteed on Thursday. Lost emails, tech glitches. You send a vital proposal, you think it went through, and then you find out 3 days later it's been sitting in your outbox the whole time.
That is the stuff of nightmares. So what's the actionable advice here?
Trust nothing digital on Thursday. I mean it. Double-check everything. Use the read receipt function. If something is truly important, pick up the phone and verbally confirm they got it.
Good old analog.
Exactly. And as we touched on, work-related travel is just so discouraged. If you can reschedule that business trip, please do it. You do not want to be stuck in an airport on February 5th, 2026.
Noted. And then comes the Friday pivot.
Yeah.
Mercury moves into Pisces. How does that change the work strategy for the end of the week?
It shifts from firefighting to wrapping up. Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It's not an energy for starting big, new, detailed initiatives.
Okay.
It's an energy for creativity, for intuition, and for finishing things. If you have the option to work from home on a Friday, the charts highly, highly support that. Shift your focus to completing existing tasks rather than launching brand new ones.
That makes a lot of sense. Kind of a cool down. Let's move to the wallet, money, and finance. Section 3. The headline here is really interesting. Efficiency equals income.
Yes. There is a direct link this week between how you handle the Uranus chaos and what happens in your bank account.
How so?
Because the 6th house rules both your routine and your service to others. If you can be efficient while everyone else is scattered, there's a real opportunity for financial gain. You prove your value by being the calm, adaptable force in the storm.
So your bonus, or your next raise, could literally be tied to how well you handle this week's mess.
It absolutely could. But the risk is also there. Scattered energy costs money.
And it has a literal price tag.
It really does. Uranus creates distraction. If you're disorganized, you will make costly mistakes. You'll forget to cancel a subscription before it renews. You'll miss a bill payment deadline and get hit with a late fee. You'll lose an important invoice. Disorganization is the enemy of your wallet this week.
And there's a very specific spending trap warning for February 8th, Sunday. It's happening there.
Yes. The square aspects are still lingering in the background, creating this tension. And the charts warn specifically about unexpected costs related to cars or technology. Yeah, your laptop might just die. Your car battery might fail. It's that kind of sudden, annoying expense.
And what about the impulse buy?
Oh, do not do it. The astrology suggests buyer's remorse is sky high on Sunday. If you see a flashy new gadget that you just have to have, walk away.
Just for 24 hours.
At least. It's so likely to be faulty, or you'll realize a week later you didn't even need it and can't return it.
But there is a strategy for the end of the week, right? It involves the moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the detective of the zodiac.
Correct. The moon moves into Scorpio late in the week, and Scorpio energy digs deep. It investigates. It uncovers hidden things. So instead of spending money on Sunday, you should be auditing your money.
Oh, I like that.
Use that investigative energy to hunt for better deals on your car insurance, to go through your bank statements line by line and see where the money is really going. Be resourceful rather than expansive.
Be a financial detective, not a shopper.
Got it.
Okay, let's talk about the heart. Love and romance. Section 4.
The theme for love this week is really wits versus emotions. We start the week with Venus in Aquarius. And Aquarius is an air sign, very mental, very social, very intellectual.
So the way to a Sagittarius's heart this week is actually through their brain.
Absolutely. 100%. Love is found in the communication, witty banter, smart texts, sending each other interesting articles. The vibe is not candlelit dinner and gazing into each other's eyes. No, it's staying up all night debating philosophy and laughing so hard you cry.
I love that. And what about for the singles out there?
Well, there's a strong indication of meeting someone through your immediate environment. So neighbors or siblings pop up again.
Interesting.
But the attraction will be mental first. If they can't keep up with the conversation, if they can't match your wit, Sagittarius will lose interest instantly. It's a non-starter.
But we have a midweek minefield here too, don't we? That February 8th square involves Venus.
It does. And this brings us to the famous, or maybe infamous, Sagittarius trait, honesty.
Or, as some people who have dated a Sagittarius might call it, brutal honesty.
Exactly. You value truth, which is an amazing quality. But under a square aspect like this, that truth can become a weapon. The danger on Sunday is being too blunt. You might say something to your partner that is, factually correct, but the delivery is just so harsh it causes a real wound.
So it's the difference between Tuesday with that Chiron trine,
Yes.
where you're speaking healing truths,
Yes,
and Sunday where you're just, well, hurting their feelings to be right.
precisely. The advice is to check your tone. Just take a breath before you speak. Ask yourself that simple question, is this helpful or am I just trying to win?
That's good advice for any week, really. And then the shift. Mercury goes into Pisces on February 6th. How does that change the romance dynamic for the weekend?
It just softens everything. The energy moves from the head down into the heart. It becomes familial, it becomes domestic, and very nostalgic.
So this is the time for cozying up.
This is a great time to bring a partner home, to meet the parents, or to have a serious talk about moving in together. It's all about building that nest.
Though I see in the notes it says to keep it light with the family.
Yes, because Pisces energy can sometimes, ground in emotion. You want the nostalgia to be warm and fuzzy, not heavy and dramatic. Avoid dredging up old family drama from 20 years ago. Keep the vibe comforting.
Okay, that's a key distinction. Section 5, health and wellness. This feels really important because Uranus is literally in the health sector for Sagittarius.
This is a major focus for the week. Uranus in your 6th house creates a sense of physical urgency. You might wake up on Wednesday and feel this sudden, desperate desire to get fit. Like, I need to change my entire body today.
Is that a bad thing? I mean, motivation is usually good.
Motivation is good.
Yeah.
Mania is not. The warning here is against crazy extreme diets or workout plans. Your body needs balance, not shock. Uranus is already shocking your nervous system. You don't need to add a 7-day juice cleanse to the mix.
You mentioned the nervous system. What does that actually feel like physically?
It feels like the jitters. Uranus is electrical energy. You might feel anxious, buzzed, just wired, like you've had 5 espressos when you haven't had any coffee at all.
So the remedy is to burn that off. You had to get it out of your system.
You have to discharge the energy. Exercise is basically required this week, but not just any exercise. A Sagittarius on a treadmill is a bored Sagittarius. That's not going to cut it.
So what's the prescription?
With Uranus involved, you need adventure. You need velocity. So running, hiking on a new trail, mountain biking, you need to feel the wind in your face to match the energy of the planets.
I love that. Now, there's a very specific physical warning here for February 5th, that chaotic Thursday. It's about hands and arms. Why hands and arms?
It comes back to Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and the sign Gemini rules the hands, the arms, and the shoulders in medical astrology. Because Mercury is under attack from Uranus on the 5th, these are the body parts that are most vulnerable to accidents.
So we're talking about things like carpal tunnel from typing too fast.
Carpal tunnel, yes. But also more acute things, dropping something heavy on your foot, jamming your finger in a door, cutting yourself while you're cooking. It's a warning to be mindful of your dexterity. Just watch your hands.
Okay, good to know. And emotionally, we finally get a break at the end of the week.
You do. Post-February 6th, with Mercury moving into Pisces, you have cosmic permission to just rest. Your nervous system will be absolutely fried from all the Uranus activity.
So it's time to recharge.
It's time to make your home a sanctuary. Sleep, meditate, take a bath. It is a time for emotional and physical healing.
All right, let's do the vibe check. Section 6. I love this part. We've got the color, the numbers, the timing. The power color for Sagittarius this week is purple. Specifically, code hashtag 800-0000.
It's a beautiful, regal purple, and the analysis here is just fascinating. Purple is the synthesis of blue and red. Red is the Uranus energy, the fire, the speed, the chaos. Blue is the Pisces energy that comes in at the end of the week, the calm, the water, the depth. Purple holds both of those energies in one.
Wow, I never thought of it that way.
And it's also the color of wisdom and royalty, which is so fitting for Jupiter-ruled Sagittarius.
It really is. What about the best dates of the week? When should you schedule that important meeting?
February 2nd and 3rd, Monday and Tuesday. That is the sweet spot before the Uranian chaos fully takes over. If you have big plans or something important to launch, schedule it early in the week.
Get it done before Wednesday. And the lucky numbers are 3, 9, 12, 21, 30, and 48.
You see the pattern there?
Let's see, 3, 9, 12. They're all multiples of 3.
All multiples of 3. 3 is the number of Jupiter, your ruling planet. It represents expansion, flow, and synthesis. It suggests that things will move in a beautiful flow state this week if you just look for the connections instead of fighting the changes.
I love that. Okay, finally, section 7, compatibility corner. Who is the best person for a Sagittarius to hang out with this week?
Aries, without a doubt.
The Ram and a fire sign. Makes sense.
They are your partners in crime. When Uranus speeds everything up, the earth signs are going to try to slow you down. The water signs might get emotionally overwhelmed. But Aries.
Aries is ready to go.
Aries loves the adrenaline. They are the only ones who can truly keep up with the chaos. They will look at the disaster, laugh, and help you turn it into a spontaneous road trip.
Perfect. So who is the worst match this week? Who should you maybe, put on Do Not Disturb?
Virgo.
The clash of values.
It really, really is. You, Sagittarius, are all about the big picture. Virgo is about the tiny details. And with the moon in Virgo early in the week, plus all the other stress aspects, a Virgo is going to feel like a walking correction pen.
Ugh.
They will nag you about the plan, the grammar in your text message, the schedule being off by 5 minutes.
And a Sagittarius absolutely hates being nagged.
They hate feeling trapped. And Virgo energy this week will feel like a cage. My advice. Avoid any detailed collaborative projects with Virgos if you value your sanity.
So to recap the whole week, it's a week that really starts with a bang Uranus going direct, and it ends with a nap, with Mercury in Pisces.
That is the perfect summary. Adapt to the work chaos, and it could boost your income. Watch your words with loved ones on Sunday, check your emails twice, and maybe, wear some purple.
I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. We've talked a lot about chaos and disruption today, and usually those are things we try to avoid at all costs.
We do. We crave stability. But I would ask you, the listener, to analyze this. Sagittarius as a sign claims to want freedom above all else. That's the core value. But so often, we all cling to our routines because they feel safe.
Right, the familiar.
So my question is this. If the chaos in your routine this week is actually breaking the chains of the very boredom you were complaining about last month, is it really a bad thing?
Wow.
If this disruption is clearing the path for the real freedom you've been asking the universe for, are you willing to let go of the old, comfortable schedule to get it?
That's a powerful question. Is the chaos just freedom in disguise?
Indeed.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this analysis on Horoscope TV. We really hope this helps you navigate the stars this week.
Stay adaptable, Archers.
And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please make sure to subscribe so you get notified when the next celestial forecast drops. We will be here to guide you through it. Until next time.
See you in the stars.